get it. I don't know why somebody would do that to a talented, passionate people.
Yeah.
Like, we talented, passionate people. I don't understand. No, it's okay, bro.
It's real. And
we gotta take a break.
Yeah, let's take a break.
I was about to crack a joke and ask if someone was cutting onions in the room, but then I realized those tears from Q of Day26 weren't just some random emotional moment. Nah, those were real. The kind of crying that hits deep like a grown man reliving pain so raw it takes him back to being a kid who just dropped his ice cream cone on the pavement. And once you hear the why behind it, don't be surprised if you end up ugly crying too. Let's get into the tea. According to Q, his emotional breakdown stems from something way deeper than just group drama. He claims that Diddy, yes, that Diddy, once sent him a cryptic email that completely shook him mentally, and it's been messing with his mental health ever since. And here's the wild part. Most people aren't even doubting Q's story. Because let's be honest, there have been plenty of rumors floating around for years about Diddy's alleged shady behavior behind the scenes. We're talking serious allegations, like manipulating artists, intimidation tactics, and worse. For example, remember when Chopper and Freddie P, both former artists from Bad Boy, spoke out? Chopper claimed they were filming with MTV when Freddie P said something slick to Diddy. Diddy apparently told MTV to cut the cameras, stepped outside, and told Freddie P he'd buy up the whole block he lived on, get everyone out, and make sure Freddie couldn't walk down the street without fear of being shot. That's not just ego, that's a threat. So when Q breaks down on camera and talks about his trauma, it's not just for show. There's a history, there's a pattern, and there's a lot we still don't know.
What's the backstory behind Puffy telling him that he'll take his life?
I was there. He had us all sitting in we was in Daddy's house, and Fred said something slick to Diddy, and Diddy felt away. And he was like, turn the cameras off. He told MTV to turn the cameras off. You heard me, and walk out the room. They walked out the room, and we just was sitting there. And I'm not knowing what's going on. I ain't know they much had smoke with each other, you dig? But Diddy was letting it loose. I'm talking about, he told Fred, I would buy your whole block, move everybody out the neighborhood, and every time you walk outside, somebody will be shooting at you. That made Fred lead the band.
What went down with Q recently? Yeah, it's giving chills. Because honestly, it's not too far off from everything we've been hearing about Diddy. In a recent interview with his Day26 crew, things took a serious turn when the topic of Roger Bonds, Diddy's former head of security, came up. You know, the same Roger Bonds who's been calling Diddy out left and right. When asked about him, Q didn't hold back. He said, my thing with Roger Bonds was, I had an issue with him. I was kind of nervous around them because I was in an email, and I saw some things in a personal email that threw me off guard. I understand you're crying now off the trauma that you've seen, but what about the trauma you put me through when I read that email? Whew. That part hit hard. And when the interviewer pressed for more, asking what he actually saw in the email, Q kept it brief, but chilling. I'll keep it very short. Things felt very sacrificial. I don't want to sound like I'm a conspiracy person, because I'm not. But when you're under a power man, I can't go into details now. But sir, I'll tell you, it felt like some sacrificial stuff was going on, man. He went on to say the whole experience scared him so much, he ran to get help. Like literally ran to his doctor, opened up to his family, and reached out to people close to him for support. That's how off it all felt. Then it happened. Q and the whole Day26 crew just broke down crying, on camera. That's when things stopped being celebrity tea and started feeling like something much heavier. People were left shook, asking the same question. What in the world was in that email that could bring grown men to tears like that? And, just when the internet couldn't take any more, Stevie G jumped in. Yep, he popped up online claiming he's got receipts. At first, people took him seriously, until he decided to make jokes, saying Day26 cries in harmony because they sing in harmony. Child. The internet was not amused.
Yeah, that's when they were crying and all that.
Yeah, you saw
Why was
that.
they crying about? Because they was just DMing me talking about some, tell Puff that such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? I got receipts and all that.
But then the rest of the group started to cry. I've never seen that before. Like 5 grown men suddenly are crying at the same time. I've never seen that before.
They know how to sing in harmony. They probably know how to cry in harmony.
Okay.
Okay, that Stevie J moment might have been funny at first, but let's be real. This whole situation is not a joke. Watching grown men, especially black men, crying like that on camera, that hit different. There's a level of pain there that goes beyond the surface, and it deserves to be taken seriously. After seeing that clip, I ended up stumbling across Boozy Badaz's interview where he chimed in on the same situation, and let's just say, he did not hold back. Boozy's been trending ever since because, as usual, he kept it raw and unfiltered. But this time, his take sparked some serious debate. Instead of offering empathy, Boozy came for Q and the Day26 crew hard, not because he was trying to be cruel, but because he felt like they weren't being real enough. He kept pressing the question, did he hurt your feelings or did he hurt your butt? Yeah, he went there. Boozy said maybe Diddy did hurt their feelings on some deep personal stuff, but if that's the case, why not just say it? Why go on camera, cry your eyes out, and leave everyone guessing? It was blunt, it was uncomfortable, but it also made people ask, are these artists safe to speak their truth? Or is the fear of the industry still too real?
Not quite sure what it is, but it was traumatic enough to have a whole group of grown men
Well,
cry.
how grown men ain't talking about it?
I don't know. He
They was up here.
He said,
What are they crying about? Did he hurt their feelings or did he hurt their ass?
I don't know.
What are they crying about? He might have hurt their feelings because he was hurting their feelings on making it a band.
Yeah.
Even they might be traumatized with it like that.
Yeah.
But if you gonna get up here, why you get up here and tell them? You crying, did he go in your ass or not? Cause you have people thinking it went in your ass. Don't get up here and try to salt the man down. Tell the truth.
So after Boozy's viral comments, the interviewer came back with a response saying, Day26 don't want to snitch on anybody. That's why they ain't spilling what's in the email. And yeah, people heard that, but here's the thing. It's not sitting right with a lot of folks. The main question now is, how can anyone help or even understand these men if they won't say what really went down? And that right there is why Boozy doubled down. He didn't hold back. He straight up said, if they don't want to snitch, then it means they enjoyed it and would love to relive it. Wild, right? Boozy went in hard, basically suggesting that if Q and his crew aren't speaking up, then they might be hiding something. And let's be real, when people start putting 2 and 2 together, the first thought usually isn't they're just emotionally hurt. The speculation goes darker. Boozy said what others are thinking but haven't had the nerve to say aloud, that maybe Q wasn't just emotionally broken, maybe he was physically violated. And he's not joking. Boozy's been relentless in making one point. Either Q's feelings got hurt, or his butt did. Now that might sound blunt, even cruel, but it's got the internet buzzing with theories. Because once you start connecting the dots, especially the way Q talked about that email, and the fact that the whole group broke down crying, some folks are convinced it wasn't just words in that message. According to some users online, the theory is this: the email may have contained a video, something disturbing, something Q didn't even remember happening. The speculation? That it showed Q being violated, possibly while unconscious. That's a horrifying thought. And honestly, if that's what was in the email, no wonder they were crying like that. That's not drama, that's trauma. One user put it plainly, he probably was. I believe there's a high chance he saw a video of himself and didn't even remember it. And that's got everyone wondering, was the email Diddy allegedly sent actually a recording of Q being assaulted? And if so, will Q and the Day26 crew ever tell the full truth about what happened? It's no laughing matter. Not when you look at the history. Think about it. Usher, Justin Bieber, Jaden Smith, none of them have ever come forward with direct accusations against Diddy, but they've all shown emotional distress in some form when his name is mentioned. That speaks volumes. So now people are starting to believe the same thing might be happening with Key. Something happened, something they're not saying, and the pain is written all over their faces. At this point, we're left with nothing but questions. Was that email just cryptic words, or something much darker? Was it evidence of something Q didn't even know happened to him? And most of all, will they ever tell us what was really in that email? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it.